When Alice finishes singing her song, she explains to Peter that even though she miscarried at 9 months, she still had to go into labor. They still had to induce her to deliver her child. And she had to do it alone because her husband couldn't bring himself to be there, and he left. So when her child was delivered, and the hospital took pictures of her holding her beautiful, perfectly formed baby boy, she took those pictures alone. And her husband didn't come back, saying to her that every time he looked at her, every time he thought of her, all he could think of was what he had lost. And so for the last year, she's been carrying around a little thumb drive with this pictures of her and her baby boy alone, and never looked at him, never loaded him onto a computer, just carrying him around in her purse. And that was all that she had left of the life that she had lost, and no one was going to take it from her. Peter tries to apologize, tells her that he's so sorry, and she just tells him to leave. And he tries to argue that no, he'll stay with her, he'll fight for her, and she says that if he doesn't leave, she will scream and give their position away to any gang in the area that's looking for them. So Peter reluctantly walks away. And this one's really close for me. When I wrote the original version of the script, the pain I was thinking of was the pain of my little sister, who had not too terribly long before miscarried, but it was earlier in the pregnancy, and it was different enough to feel fictionalized when I actually put it on paper and when we did the initial read through. But more recently, and several years ago, she miscarried again, and this time full term. And we did the pictures. It was the hardest night of her life. She told me recently when I talked to her about it, it was one of the hardest nights of mine. Everybody that was there, even those of us that didn't go through what she was going through, we'll tell you it was one of the hardest nights we've ever had. But we all did stay, including her husband, the man that would become her husband, and took pictures with that beautiful, fully formed baby. And so a lot of that really did inform how I've rethought of this scene with Alice and explaining this pain. It makes it a lot more real for me, even though I haven't gone through it, and I obviously I can't look at any woman that's gone through this, and I certainly can't speak for all women that have gone through this, but I can at least speak for the one, and make this as real as I can for her. Now, fortunately, she had the better ending. She isn't in the situation that Alice is in. She has a great husband. They have since gone on to have a beautiful little girl that we all love very much, and we love him and we love her, and it's a great family. But that time was terrible, and I have known a number of women in the past, and as my sister put it, it's a make or break in any relationship. Fortunately for her, it was a make, but it isn't for everyone. So Alice sits there after telling her story, just crying and wondering what she's going to do now that she's alone again. And an old woman pushing a shopping cart walks up and begins to strike up a conversation with her. And the shopping cart is filled with lots of things like shell bikini tops and broken wands and dirty tiaras and things from various, could be recognized from various fairy tales and children's stories. And she sits down, and the fairy godmother sings All Magic Does to Alice.